Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 8th. I'm Sarah Colvin, and this is Barnstable This Morning. For the next hour and a half, we'll talk with town leaders and decision makers, taking a look at all the issues that affect your life as a resident or a visitor to the town of Barnstable. It is Wednesday, and every Wednesday here on Barnstable This Morning is Business Wednesday. We'll start this Business Wednesday off with a visit with Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce CEO Wendy Northcross. Wendy and I are going to talk about a number of issues, including wedding promotion, trying to get more people to have weddings here on beautiful Cape Cod. We're also going to talk about an exciting Chamber and Arts Foundation of Cape Cod event taking place soon at the brand new terminal at the Barnstable Municipal Airport. Then we move on to our weekly chat with Director of Regulatory Services, Tom Geiler. Tom and I are going to talk all about auto dealer licenses here in Barnstable. Then it's time for our weekly Cape Cod Healthcare segment. We're going to welcome Dr. John Kalin this morning. He is with the Cardiovascular Consultants. Of course, February is Heart Health Month. We've got a number of heart health related topics to talk with Dr. Kalin about this morning. Then we welcome a brand new guest to Barnstable this morning. We're pleased to welcome David Augustino. He is the head of the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board. We're going to welcome David to the show today, talk all about the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board, and give you a sense of what we'll talk to David about in the coming weeks. We'll wrap up today's show with our weekly visit with Elizabeth Werfbane. She's the Executive Director of the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District. All that and much more on this Business Wednesday Barnstable this morning. We're glad to have you with us today, starting your day. Now let's find out what's going on around town. And for that, I welcome Melissa Chartrand. She's got our town news and notes. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Sarah. It will be slow moving on the Bourne Bridge for the next 2 days. Steel repair work will reduce travel to one lane in each direction. Motorists should expect delays, especially during peak travel hours. Traffic controls will be in place 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. today and tomorrow. Cape Cod Community College is seeking nominations for its 2012 Pioneering Woman to be honored in March during Women's History Month celebrations. The award honors a woman who has made outstanding contributions to family, community, and the society with a dedication to making a difference. Full details are on the college website at capecod.edu. With spring around the corner, residents planning construction, landscaping, or placing a shed within 100 feet of a lake, pond, bog, or marsh, or within 200 feet of a river or stream need to check in with the Conservation Division. Staff who will help determine if the proposed activity requires review under the Wetland Protection Act and Town Wetland Bylaw. You can call 508-862-4093 for assistance. Youth at Mall Night, sponsored by the Youth Services Division and the Barnstable Youth Commission, is this Friday night in front of Macy's by the Hollister store at Cape Cod Mall. In addition to educational displays, the night features performances by the Atlantic Coast Academy of Dance and the Cape Cod Hip Hop Dancers. The program runs from 5 to 7 p.m. Moving on to sports, Boston Celtics forward Paul Pierce passed Larry Bird for second place on the Celtics' all-time scoring list during the 94-84 win over the Charlotte Bobcats last night. Pierce needed 9 points to tie Bird's total of 21,791. Pierce had 7 points at halftime and then hit a three-pointer with 10:23 left in the third quarter to pass Larry Bird's record. Now at 5 straight wins, this is Boston's longest winning streak of the season. Celtics will look for the 6th win tomorrow night as they host the LA Lakers. The Bruins back on the ice tonight as they wrap up a mini road trip at Buffalo to face their Northeast Division rival tonight at 7. This is the third of 6 meetings between the teams. Twice earlier, the Bruins have beat the Sabres. And in local sports action, one home game to tell you about. Barnstable girls hockey will take on Duxbury at 5 p.m. Of course, that's played over at the HYCC. The Valentine's Twosome 3-mile race is on Sunday, February 19th at the Sandwich Hollows Golf Course. $10 fee benefits the Cape Cod Athletic Club's American Cancer Society Relay for Life team. You can register by emailing Gucci at Comcast.net. That's Goochie at Comcast.net. Now it's time for us to hear from Highline Cruises Captain Peter Buckler. Aboard passenger ferry Gray Lady, here's our daily boat report. Let's listen while we take a look at some sparkling sunshine this morning out at Hyannis Harbor.
Good morning. This is the Highline Daily Boat Report. This is Captain Buckler aboard the Gray Lady. Right now we have mostly clear skies, bright and blue up above with a few clouds around the horizon here. Winds are from the east at about 5 to 10 knots with calm seas, maybe seas of half a foot here this morning. Pretty nice morning out on Nantucket Sound. Our water temperature is holding steady at 41 degrees. The air temperature is not too far behind at about 39. The visibility is excellent this morning, and the next high tide in Hyannisport is at 12:20 this afternoon. For the remainder of today, we can expect those clouds to move in a little bit, and for it to maybe turn a bit colder this afternoon. For Barnstable this morning, this is Captain Buckler aboard the Gray Lady.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable This Morning, 7:36 now on this Wednesday morning. Sarah Colvin here with Melissa Chartrand.
Good morning. Another day of beautiful sunshine.
Another day of beautiful sunshine. Can't beat it. You know,
No.
we've just had such a wonderful, mild winter. So rare. Nice to enjoy that.
It is. It was a little chilly, but that's okay. It is February.
Exactly. Well, like I said to Senator Wolf yesterday, I had to scrape my windshield yesterday. Did not have to do it today.
No, but it was still cold. I know I'm fortunate that we have a garage, but it was chilly. Usually you come out and the heat can go right on, and it took a little bit. I'm really spoiled.
Spoiled, Melissa.
I am.
Spoiled, Melissa. So let's talk a little bit. Yesterday we had a trivia question.
We did. Speaking of chilly, that's a big hint. What continent has the fewest flowering plants? And the answer, of course, is Antarctica.
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
Lots of snow and ice and rocks there. Oh, and there's a picture up on the screen. And who are those fine and lovely people?
Those are my cute mom and dad who just came back from Antarctica literally last week. And look at them. Look how close they are to those penguins.
Wow, and look at the penguins.
And look at the baby penguins, the fuzzy ones.
And that iceberg to the left kind of looks like a polar bear.
It does look like a polar bear. It really does. They had the most spectacular time. Look at the glaciers. It was just unbelievable, their trip that they went. Their world travelers. See the penguins out there having a good time.
Sliding on the ice and
Yes.
enjoying it. They just have the best life.
And
So
that,
much
the
fun.
color in that is just phenomenal. And they got to see it live in person. And so this is my opportunity to be able to, look how close they were to those penguins.
That's amazing. How cute they are, too.
So, yes, so that's the answer to the trivia question, Antarctica, which was a means for me to be able to do show and tell with my parents traveling away. But they had the most magnificent time, and I will say that now they have visited every continent, which is phenomenal.
So amazing. What a great way to spend time as you travel. It's like, I mean, we make jokes about me never leaving the Triangle here in Hyannis.
Yes.
And, it's tough enough to get me to go to another town. But, I mean, I love to travel. I've gone to Savannah, which is Georgia, which is where my parents live. But I've never been out of the country. I've been to Canada.
That's out of the country.
Just briefly, exactly, out of the country. But my sister has been to Europe. She's been to Scotland and England. She's been to Amsterdam. And she's getting ready to go to Aruba.
How nice. Lucky.
Spoiled.
Even with this I'll tell you what, even with this nice weather, it's nice to get away. But even vicariously to travel through, I love looking at their pictures and hearing their stories. And I know you said that you have followed someone's blog where he's traveled all over.
Yes.
And it just so comes to life. But it keeps them young at heart. I mean, God love them. My dad's been retired for 7 years now, and they just continually travel. In fact, they're leaving tomorrow for New Zealand, so they're off not to home that long. But thank you for letting me share those pictures.
Oh, no problem.
To answer that trivia question.
I think our viewers enjoyed that for sure. It's just amazing. I mean, we are so lucky here in Barnstable and here on Cape Cod to live in such a gorgeous area. But there really are so many interesting, amazing, and unique places all around the world. And looking at those pictures from Antarctica just shows what kind of a beautiful world we have.
Yes.
So we have still much more to come talking about beautiful things. Cape Cod, of course, a lovely place to have a wedding. Of course, I got married here. easy. Don't leave the town, but
but on a beach.
On a beach,
how
exactly, gorgeous. And so I know the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce is working to even further promote our area as a real destination wedding hotspot. So we're going to talk to Wendy Northcross from the Cape Cod Chamber a little bit about that. I know there's a wedding expo coming up as well. Also going to talk about a very cool event with the Cape Cod Chamber and the local chambers and the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod coming up soon at the brand new Barnstable Municipal Airport Terminal. So all sorts of stuff to talk about with Wendy. Let's go out now and take a look at our own backyard, the beautiful conditions at Hyannis Inner Harbor, and we'll come right back with Cape Cod Chamber CEO Wendy Northcross. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's now 7:42 on this Wednesday morning, and joining me now on the phone, I welcome Wendy Northcross. She's the CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. Wendy, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
How are you today?
I'm great. It's a nice sunny day. It's a little chilly, but I think it's going to be a good day.
I think so, too. Always nice to wake up on the right side of the bed. So, Wendy, let's talk a little bit about weddings. That's the first thing I want to talk about, and I know there's an event coming up. But talk to me a little bit. Of course, Cape Cod, we see so many photos and see so many weddings here in the region, having a beach wedding or having a wedding at any one of our beautiful resorts or churches or, whatever your fancy is. Definitely a wonderful place. So talk to me a little bit about weddings on Cape Cod.
Well, I think we've talked a little bit about this before because weddings are sort of a phenomenon in Cape Cod and the islands, too. A lot of people, a lot of brides choose Cape Cod as the location to get married, even though they don't live here. And what they end up doing is having a destination wedding, which means everybody, the entire wedding party comes like a week before, the family arrive early, the guests arrive for the wedding and maybe extend their stay. And we found during the recession that these weddings were pretty recession-proof. Like, those brides are getting married no matter what. So,
you know it.
So it was, it was an interesting, and we've known destination weddings were good, but this winter, while we were looking at our marketing plan and how we spend our money and which types of business gain the most amount of traction for our members, we found weddings was registering really, really high compared to how much we were or were not doing to promote weddings.
Exactly. And I think, if we're looking at destination weddings, Wendy, it's not just the wedding venue and perhaps if people choose to stay and have their honeymoon here on the Cape, but as you said, if the entire family and friends come a week ahead, that's extra hotel room bookings, that's potential restaurant trips, some shopping, etc. So really a big boon for a number of different portions of our industry.
Exactly. So, we have a lot of small businesses here as well that cater to weddings, and they do quite a fine job of it. And, we realize it's not just the cake baker, the florist, or the tuxedo rental. It's the whole shebang. I mean, it's gifts, it's house rentals, it's spa treatments, and all that extended stay. I mean, a lot of these things turn into mini vacations or family reunions. And so it's quite a lucrative book of business. What we're interested in doing is also growing the amount of numbers that we have in our membership that serve the wedding industry. So tonight we're throwing a party. We're throwing a big reception for anybody that owns and operates a company that caters to weddings. We're just going to get everybody together to network and share, because that's one of the best ways you can get leads. But we're also going to explain to them how the Chamber's ramping up our marketing of Cape Cod for destination weddings.
Great. And you said, Wendy, that event is this evening?
It is. It's this evening. We're doing it at the Cape Museum of Art in Dennis. Casual Gourmet, who is housed in Centerville, they're going to actually co-host with us. They've used their extensive contacts in the wedding industry to embellish our invitation list. And, if someone's a member or not and they're affiliated with the wedding industry, they're welcome to come by. We're going to start at 5:30, wrap it up at 7:30, because I actually have to feed over to the Barnstable County Governance Commission, the one that's looking at county government structure. But it's going to be a great. Right now we have about 150, maybe a few more people that registered yesterday. 150 guests coming tonight. So it's like we're throwing ourselves a little wedding party.
Always fun. So definitely looking forward to hearing about that, Wendy. And what better place to get married than on Cape Cod? Really, it's just so gorgeous. So many things to offer here. And I think too, it's good for, as we said, our local industry, because I think people tend to be, when they're going to a wedding, they're happy, they're in a good mood, maybe a little looser with their wallets than they would be if they were on a more structured vacation.
Exactly, and they'll spend. Some of these weddings are 6 figures, so $100,000 for a wedding soup nut is kind of the norm, I'm hearing, for destination weddings. So that's big business. The other thing that we know is when you get married here, you tend to have that nostalgia going for you. Either you come back for a anniversary, you bring the kids back here to show them where you got married. You treat these repeat visits out of that nostalgic ties that they have to the place. So we're kind of excited about it. We see some of our members get as much as 12% of their business from weddings, and we want to see if we can grow that.
Excellent. So moving on, Wendy, I know there's another event I wanted to talk about, and that's going on right here in town at the Barnstable Municipal Airport, the brand new terminal coming up. I believe it's next week.
Yeah, that's next week's party.
There's a party every week.
It's next Wednesday. It is. We actually had planned to do this in January, and then, of course, they weren't quite finished with their occupancy permit and settling some of the disputes with neighbors there. But now that the Barnstable Municipal Airport Terminal is open and it's available, we are hosting with the airport and the Hyannis Area Chamber and the Yarmouth Area Chamber and the Arts Foundation of Cape Cod. We're going to host a member-to-member networking event on the 15th of February. That's from 5 to 7. And I think we've got a great turnout. As soon as we sent out the first invitation, we immediately had 50 people register the next day. So I think we've got a clear winner here. People want to see that new terminal. They've been hearing about it. They want to experience it. And it's February, so what better time to get out and do something different but in February on Cape Cod.
Great. And so that's next Wednesday, February 15th at 5 o'clock over at the brand new Barnstable Municipal Airport Terminal. And it is gorgeous over there.
Yeah, I saw it before it was totally completed, and it is very pretty. They've done a nice job, and the Arts Foundation tells us that there will be some kind of a display hanging there. I know there's been some brouhaha about hanging art in the airport, but the airport's doing a fantastic job making sure that that entryway to Cape Cod and the portal to the islands really does show a sense of place, and we're very excited about that. So I know there's been 90 artists that have applied so far to hang their art, and the committee's continually working to, make sure it's equitable and it's right and it's done well, and we're very excited about that. So we'll be updating people a little bit about that next week as well.
Fantastic, Wendy. And one more thing I wanted to touch upon before I let you go today, and that is what you do for entrepreneurs. And I know that recently you had a very successful Entrepreneurs Weekend, and I think you're gearing up for something similar, correct?
We are. This is our 4th Entrepreneurs Weekend. It's the first weekend in March, so I just wanted to put it out there. We can talk a little bit more about it next week or the week after, but we're looking for entrepreneurs, and it's really simple. Just you know, we will put you together with experts. You can build a team. You can join another team if you like someone's idea. But it's, you know, this will be the 5th one that we've done, because we did a 3.5 back in the fall. But it's just something about being in a room of people with really creative ideas, the energy to start a business, the expertise to help somebody else do it. I mean, it's like a bonding weekend. It's an amazing event. It's $75. We start Friday night. We end Sunday afternoon. You walk into a room of total strangers. By the end of the weekend, you've practically built a company, and you've practically built your management team around that company. And it's very exciting. So even if people just want to come and watch and help, I think it's an amazing thing. It's something that we're getting more and more traction with. People are coming from over the bridges to attend Entrepreneurs Weekend. And my goal is someday it's global. Someday people are jetting in from, you know, London and Hong Kong and Shanghai to come to Entrepreneurs Weekend on Cape Cod. But it really is exciting, and people can get more information on our B2B website, which is ecapechamber.com. All the registration information is right there.
Great. And this is targeted, Wendy, towards really anyone interested in business. Would it be current entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, seasoned entrepreneurs? Is it just really a wide range of people that you're hoping that will attend this Entrepreneurs Weekend?
Yep, absolutely. You know, the main crux is people that have an idea for a business, but then other people join up. They say, you know, I might not be the idea guy, but I can be your chief information officer, or I can be your accountant, or I can, you know, help you with the legal structure. And then we have mentors in the room that work all weekend long. We make sure you're fed all weekend long, keep the coffee flowing and the water bottles ready. But anybody with an idea or anybody that's willing to help, they're more than welcome.
Wonderful. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, and we will speak with you again a little bit more about Entrepreneurs Weekend in the coming weeks.
Okay, Sarah, thanks.
Thanks much. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Wendy Northcross is the CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, joining us this Business Wednesday. And again, that event tonight is over at the Cape Cod Museum of Art in Dennis for the wedding industry. Those who have an interest in the wedding industry, who participate in that here on Cape Cod, it's over at the Cape Cod Museum of Art in Dennis. Begins at 5:30 tonight. Still more to come on this Business Wednesday on Barnstable this morning. We have our weekly chat with our Regulatory Services Director, Tom Geiler, coming up in just a moment. But before we get to Mr. Geiler, let's find out what that forecast has in store for us. For that, I welcome back Melissa Chartrand. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Sarah. It's a nice sunny day today. We will see some increase in clouds throughout the day into the afternoon and evening. Temps staying in the 40s. Sunset at 5:05. It will be cloudy overnight with a chance of snow flurries after midnight. Temps dropping to the 30s. Tomorrow we'll have a cloudy start, and then it will clear. Temps will reach the mid-40s. Right now it's 25 degrees with plenty more to come on Barnstable this morning. Coming up next is Director of Regulatory Services Tom Geiler, but first let's take a look at the sunshine out at Hyannis Harbor.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's now 7:54 on this Wednesday morning, and joining me now on the phone, I welcome our Director of Regulatory Services, Tom Geiler. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
How are you today?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing good. So, Tom, let's talk about auto dealer licenses. I know that we've spoken with our growth management director and other people in town that says it's really the biggest growing industry in town. In recent months, we've seen a lot of activity in auto dealers. So talk to me a little bit about the structure of auto dealer licenses. From what I understand, there are a couple of different types.
Oop, hello?
Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You just kind of faded away there.
That's all right.
There are three categories of auto dealer licenses, and the state categorizes them as Class 1, Class 2, Class 3. But what that really means is that Class 1 is new car dealers. Class 2 is used car dealers. And Class 3 is junkyards. We no longer have any junkyards. Most communities have long ago had to remove the junkyards from their communities because of environmental concerns and other concerns. So those are kind of a dinosaur around. They're located in non-environmental areas, and we don't have to worry about that right now. So we're really only focusing on two, which is the new and the used car process. It's a partnership between the state and the town. The town licenses them. The state also provides an oversight role through the Registry of Motor Vehicles and through the Attorney General's office with respect to the lemon laws and warranty issues and those consumer protection issues. What the town does is spend a lot more time with site plan issues. If you notice, the newer auto dealers around are laid out in a more appropriate fashion. They have better landscaping. They have better site access and safer approaches and turning radiuses and all those details are taken up prior to the actual hearing in a site plan review process to make the plan as safe and as attractive and as compatible as possible for both the town and the dealer.
Sure, Tom, and I would think from a business standpoint as well, for new car dealers, many people are going to be walking in there and spending quite a bit of money on a car. So I think the onus is definitely on them to make their facility look nice, because you want to have a nice experience if you're going to be spending that kind of money on a brand new vehicle.
Yes, and the complication in Barnstable is much of our commercial zoning is in wellhead protection districts. Wellhead protection districts are not the appropriate place for facilities that store hazardous materials or handle hazardous materials. So that in the cases of the auto dealers that have non-conforming rights, that is that the use existed before the zoning, the wellhead protection zoning, then what the town does is ensure that it is made as safe as possible. If they have oil on the premises, then they've got to have 150% capacity in terms of containment, so that if there is a spill, it doesn't go anywhere. It's contained right on the property. The same thing for transmission fluid or brake fluid or antifreeze. So they're a much safer place environmentally, and it's in everybody's best interest to get them upgraded. And over the last dozen years, there's been a significant number of them that have been totally upgraded, and it's a lesser number that have been limited upgrades in terms of the available land that they had.
Right, and certainly important to have those regulations in place in an environmentally sensitive area such as really our town of Barnstable. Now, Tom, if the auto dealers want to have repair facilities on site, is that a separate license?
No, it's not a separate license, but it is reviewed in terms of how appropriate that is. There has to be safeguards if they are in any of the wellhead protection districts, and there are different zones. The closest to the well being the most critical, and then the furthest away being the least critical. But whenever somebody is planning on installing a new dealership with full repair facilities, and most dealers almost have to have. The auto manufacturer is going to be reluctant to give a contract to a dealer to open a new dealership that doesn't have the ability to service and maintain those vehicles. So what they have to do is work with the town to come up with a plan that eliminates the risk of an accident, a spill, any environmental damage.
Sure. Now, Tom, when we're looking at kind of competition amongst the auto industry, are there any regulations in place that perhaps prohibit two different entities from opening the same type of dealership? Like, say, a new person wanted to come in and open a Honda dealership, and of course we already have Hyannis Honda or a Toyota dealership. Is there something in place that says we can only have one particular type of franchise here in town?
No. That's never been an issue. Most of the manufacturers have their own rules about how close they will give another dealer an opportunity to sell the same product, and I think that stems from the very high requirements that the dealers have, the manufacturers have for issuing a contract in terms of what it is they expect. I mean, when you go into an auto dealer's facility today, it's actually a lot different than what it used to be. It provides a much higher level of service, and the repairs are state of the art. The facilities are clean and comfortable and very inviting. So there's been a significant change there. I think I'm talking about mostly new dealers, but if you look at some of the used dealers, they've taken on the same mantra in terms of trying to upgrade their facilities as well. They may not have the resources to do all of the things, but many of the used car facilities don't actually do repairs.
Right.
They send out their repairs, or they'll do some repairs, but not others, and contract for specialized mechanical repairs in order to do that maintenance type of work. But they all have obligations under the law to deliver a safe, warranted vehicle and provide consumers with protection from clunker.
Tom, let's talk a little bit about the used car sector for a bit. I want to talk a little bit about, obviously the state has some very stringent laws on, as you said, warranties and the quality of the car, the Lemon Law, of course. How much authority does the licensing authority have over that, or is that more of a state/consumer affairs issue?
Well, it is primarily a consumer affairs issue, and it ultimately can be enforced by the Attorney General. And the Attorney General's office has broad powers in levying fines and penalties, but part of the licensing process is that the applicant has to agree to abide by the laws of the Commonwealth. So frequently, the licensing authority will get a complaint from a customer that they've purchased a vehicle at dealer X and have been unable to get that vehicle repaired. The dealer has been uncooperative. In those cases, the licensing authority has always been willing to call that dealer in and say, well, explain this. What's going on? Why aren't you complying with the state requirements on repairs and warranties? Usually what happens is even before it gets to a hearing, it's resolved. But if the licensing authority was to be convinced that that a dealer was just ignoring these things, then they would have the authority to revoke that license.
Sure, and I also know in terms of the used car dealers, and I'm not sure about the specifics, but there are limits to the amount of cars a dealer can have on the lot. Now, is that related to the size of their lot, the size of their business, or just the license itself?
Well, it's related to the site plan review process. That what is done now is that the plans that are drawn up professionally, and a diagram is created to indicate just how many vehicles can safely fit on that lot, and that would include the display vehicles, customer vehicles, repair vehicles, employee vehicles. So that before that dealer ever opens, there is an agreed upon number that limits the dealership from simply just piling vehicles every square inch of the lot. And no access for emergency equipment or fire or apparatus or anybody to really move around. And that creates other problems in terms of the runoff of rainwater, and so that's gradually going away as well. But over time, as the licensing authority gets the opportunity to review the individual licenses or upgrade the licenses, all of those things are upgraded as well.
Indeed. Now, one last question for you, Tom. Is there a limit to how many auto dealer licenses can be issued in a town, or is that an unlimited type of a thing?
Well, it's something that the licensing authority can limit, and they have at different times in history. But currently, there is no limit.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to speak with you, and we'll talk with you again next Wednesday morning.
Well, have a great day and enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye-bye. Tom Geiler is our Director of Regulatory Services here in town, talking a little bit about auto dealer licenses. Still much more to come on today's show. We have our Cape Cod Healthcare segment coming up next. But before we get to that, let's find out what's going on around town. For that, I welcome Melissa Chartrand. She's got town news and notes. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Sarah. We'll be slow moving on the Board Bridge for the next 2 days. Steel repair work will reduce travel to one lane in each direction. Motorists should expect delays, especially during peak travel hours. Traffic controls will be in place 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. both today and tomorrow. Cape Cod Community College is seeking nominations for its 2012 Pioneering Woman to be honored in March during Women's History Month celebrations. The award honors a woman who has made outstanding contributions to family, community, and society with a dedication to making a difference. Full details are on the website at capecod.edu. With spring around the corner, residents planning construction, landscaping, or placing a shed within 100 feet of a lake, pond, bog, or marsh, or within 200 feet of a river or stream need to check in with the Conservation Division staff, who will help determine if the proposed activity requires review under the Wetland Protection Act and Town Wetland Bylaw. For assistance, you can call them at 508-862-4093. Youth at Mall Night is sponsored by the Youth Services Division and the Barnstable Youth Commission. It's this Friday in front of Macy's by the Hollister store at the Cape Cod Mall. In addition to educational displays, the night features performances by the Atlantic Coast Academy of Dance and the Cape Cod Hip Hop Dancers. The program will run from 5 to 7 p.m. Moving on to sports, Boston Celtics forward Paul Pierce passed Larry Bird for second place on the Celtics' all-time scoring list during the 94-84 win over the Charlotte Bobcats last night. Now at 5 straight wins, this is Boston's longest winning streak of the season. The Celtics will look for 6 tomorrow night as they host the LA Lakers. The Boston Bruins back on the ice tonight as they wrap up a mini road trip at Buffalo to face their Northeast Division rival. Tonight at 7 o'clock. This is the third of 6 meetings between the teams. Twice earlier, the Bees have beat the Sabres. And in local sports action, Barnstable girls hockey has a game versus Duxbury at 5 o'clock over at the HYCC. The Valentine's Twosome 3-mile race is on Sunday, February 19th at the Sandwich Hollows Golf Course. It's a $10 fee. It will benefit the Cape Cod Athletic Club's American Cancer Society Relay for Life team. You can register by emailing Gucci, that's Goochie, at Comcast.net. Now it's time for us to hear from Highline Cruises Captain Peter Buckler aboard passenger ferry Gray Lady. Here's our daily boat report. Let's listen while we take a look at what's happening out here at Hyannis Harbor.
Good morning. This is the Highline Daily Boat Report. This is Captain Buckler aboard the Gray Lady. Right now we have mostly clear skies, bright and blue up above with a few clouds around the horizon here. Winds are from the east at about 5 to 10 knots with calm seas, maybe seas of half a foot here this morning. Pretty nice morning out on Nantucket Sound. Our water temperature is holding steady at 41 degrees. The air temperature is not too far behind at about 39. The visibility is excellent this morning, and the next high tide in Hyannis Port is at 12:20 this afternoon. For the remainder of today, we can expect those clouds to move in a little bit and for it to maybe turn a bit colder this afternoon. For Barnstable this morning, this is Captain Buckler aboard the Gray Lady.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's 10 past 8 now on this Wednesday morning. Sarah Colvin here with Melissa Chartrand.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Melissa. It is like a sauna in here. That's all I have to say. It is very warm in our studio. I feel like I'm in the tropics. You know, we're talking about my sister going to Aruba, and I feel like I'm there right now.
Well, see, who needs Aruba? You can just come to Studio Barnstable.
That's right, Channel 18 Studios. You can get your sauna in for the day. So yesterday, both of us made a visit to the Hyannis Public Library. I know that you went over there with our videographer Kevin Foster to videotape the piano exhibit that's going to be on our arts and culture segment coming up in a little bit.
Yes, but you were there. You have to tell our viewers what you had to do there. It's just really funny.
Well, I had to get a new library card, and it was rather amusing. And I almost didn't say it. I almost said I lost it, but I couldn't not say it. And the reason why I had to get a new library card, my dog ate my old library card. He did. Chico, I'm looking at you. The little Chihuahua, I know he did it, and it's all chewed up and a mess. So I said, okay, I'm just going to go and get a new one. And so, of course, Carol Saunders, the library director, who we ended up having a wonderful chat about our dogs. She's got a beautiful dog that she was telling me about, but she was very, very nice and very forthcoming, and I have my new library card, and I'm all set now. I'm very happy about that.
She has, what kind of dog? It's a fluffy, big white dog named Snowflake.
It's an Alaskan something exactly. I couldn't remember what it was, but just wonderful chat about the dogs. And she also shared some great things that I was not aware of that the library has. Of course, I'm a big fan of the e-books that you can download. You can do it. I do it right from my iPhone. I've read like 3 books on my phone. Who knew?
Who knew?
But very easy.
But if you don't have an iPhone.
Exactly. If you don't have an iPhone, and of course, libraries always had audiobooks. They always try and keep up with the newest technology. Carol told me that, the cassette rental's a little down.
What? Half these kids won't even know.
I know. What's
kids today's won't even know what a cassette is.
But they have the cassettes, they have the CDs, but they also have this really cool new thing, and it's almost like a built-in digital media player, and you borrow it from the library. It comes in this little packet that fits right in your pocket. You can put it in your pocket of your jeans, you can put it in the pocket of your shirt, your jacket, whatever. All you need is your headphones, and I'm sure that they have headphones there you can borrow as well. But it's all one compact. You get your book on tape. They give you a battery. You plug in your headphones. You can literally walk out of the library and have that book to listen to on tape.
Amazing resource, and again, all for free, just for having that CLAMS library card, which
Exactly.
you can use at all the town libraries.
Indeed. And another thing she told me about.
The music.
I mean, I just went in there to renew my library card, and I ended up finding out all of these amazing things, but downloadable music.
Yes, and not only downloadable music, but music that you get to keep, because when you do an ebook, you borrow it. You really do borrow it, even though it appears on your iPhone, and then after 2 weeks, I think it disappears.
It does.
But you can download music with your library card, right? I think online or right there, from Sony Music Catalog, and you get to keep the songs.
And there's a 2-song-a-week limit.
Yes.
But I mean, come on.
500,000 artists. 40,000 albums, 108 genres.
I'm going to have to try that. And it's the amazing
Free.
thing is, and free. And I love that you get to keep it. It's not that you just have it on your iPod or your digital music device for a couple of weeks like the books. but you get to keep it.
Yes, you do.
How cool is that? So definitely go over to hyannislibrary.org, their website. I mean, that's just really the tip of the iceberg when it comes to all the things that you can do with the library. They have this great language learning program called Mango. And as I was talking to Carol yesterday, it's really not for the person who wants to give a diplomatic speech in a foreign language, but if you want to go and take a trip and visit and be able to converse, maybe order a coffee, ask where the bathroom is, in that foreign language, you can do that. And from what I've heard, it's relatively easy to use. So I'll have to bone up on my high school French.
There you go.
All Français.
I think we should learn. I can say croissant. S'il vous plaît.
What's the French word for pizza, Melissa?
Yeah, I know. I should know that. My goodness.
Oh, so again, all sorts of exciting things going on at the library. It's really not just, of course, you can still borrow books if you're into that, but still so many things going on at the library. They have a number of programs, talks and lectures, so never a dull moment at the library. We do have still much more to come on today's show. It's Heart Health Month. February is Heart Health Month, and we are going to continue our discussions with our Cape Cod healthcare doctors. With Dr. John Kalin of Cardiovascular Specialists, we're going to talk about heart health coming up in just a moment. So let's go outside now, take a look at Hyannis Inner Harbor, and we'll come right back with Dr. John Kalin. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable this morning. Still trying to get in touch with Dr. Callum this morning. If you'll just hold tight and enjoy that beautiful morning view of Hyannis Inner Harbor, we'll come right back with our Cape Cod Healthcare segment. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's now 8:21 on this Wednesday morning, and I know that Dr. Kalin had to go into surgery directly after speaking with us. He may have needed to go in early. We were not able to get in touch with him, but I'm sure we will have him on the show sometime in the future. We'll move things along with David Augustino next, but first, let's get a quick check of that forecast with Melissa Chartrand. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Sarah. Time to get out and enjoy the sunshine today. We will see increasing clouds, temps in the 40s. Sunset at 5:05 this evening, cloudy overnight. There is even a chance of snow flurries after midnight. Temperatures to remain in the 30s. It'll be a cloudy start for tomorrow morning and then clearing with sunshine. Temps in the mid-40s. Right now it's 28 degrees with plenty more to come on Barnstable this morning. Coming up next is David Augustino, Executive Director of the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board. But first, let's take a look at that sunshine out at Hyannis Harbor.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's now 8:23 on this Wednesday morning, and I'm very pleased to welcome a brand new guest to our roster here at Barnstable this morning. He'll be joining us each and every Business Wednesday, and it's David Augustino. He's the Executive Director of the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board. David, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. I'm delighted to be part of the show.
Thank you so much, and we're delighted to have you as well. So, David, talk to me a little bit about the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board. What is this organization all about?
Great. And I have, an hour and a half now? Is that the Sarah, the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board is one of 600 workforce investment boards across the United States. We're formed by federal legislation, and the idea is to have boards that are made up of private sector business people oversee the expenditure of workforce development funding in a region. So we get involved in a lot of different kinds of activities. Obviously, we oversee the operation of career one-stop centers, and for the Cape and Islands, we have our Hyannis Career Opportunity Center at 372 North Street in Hyannis, and that's where we meet our customers, who are both individuals who are looking for work and businesses who are looking for employees. And I can't stress enough that we provide a wide range of services for free to businesses to help them meet their human resource needs.
And what a great way to connect people who are looking for work to people who have these open job vacancies, to know that they've got the right person. It's almost like it's like a dating service for employers, really. It's like you kind of find the right match. It's here's a person looking for work, here's a business looking for work, and you guys can work to match them up.
That's exactly what it is, Sarah, and we do it in several different ways. Employers can just file job orders with us, and our business services representatives comb our unemployed and other individuals who are looking for maybe better careers. They go through the information and provide employers with a selected list of individuals. So it's even better than like running an ad in the newspaper or something. We pre-screen individuals to make sure that employers are talking to people who are right for the job as much as possible for us.
And David, I'm sure that over the past few years, as we've really looked at the employment crisis and the unemployment numbers kind of rise over the past few years, I know that career center in Hyannis has been a very busy place.
Yes, in the people still think of us as the unemployment office. We're not the unemployment office, and where actually the state is moving us away from the business of helping people file their unemployment claims. Not too many people know that within the next 30 to 60 days, the state is going to go online with a computer-based online application process for unemployment. Right now, people can file for unemployment over the telephone, and they can also come to our career centers. Once they go online with the system, It's hoped that most people will be able to file online, and there won't be a lot of people coming to our career centers to file unemployment claims.
Right, and make it a little bit easier for all involved. So let's kind of go go in the direction of that career center for today, David. Talk to me a little bit about the services that you offer. I know one of the services there is help with writing your resume, which really for many can make or break the application process. I know with employers getting piles and piles of resumes, you want to make sure yours stands out.
Absolutely, we provide a wide range of services to anyone who's looking for a new job, a new job. It doesn't matter whether you're employed or unemployed. Our Career Center provides a range of services for free. We call them core services. That involves an assessment. It involves workshops on resume writing, interviewing skills, and other job search techniques. We have telephones, fax machines, copy machines, and computer databases that individuals can use for free in their job search. Sarah, we like to think of it as that someone could make our resource room kind of their office while they're looking for work.
Indeed. Let's talk a little bit about partnerships too, David. I know a couple weeks ago, Governor Deval Patrick, in his State of the Commonwealth speech, talked a lot about community colleges as really a center for growing our workforce. Now, do you have partnerships with Cape Cod Community College and work with the students there to help put them into jobs?
We definitely work with Cape Cod Community College. Any student who is looking for a job can come in for free, receive our services. But we're involved with the community college on a number of levels. I serve on 5 or 6 of the community college's advisory committees. So I'm on the Perkins Advisory Committee, and that's the one that deals with technical education, more vocational type education. I'm also on the Stammer Institute Advisory Committee. I'm on their Business Advisory Committee. And the whole purpose of that is so that we can work closely with them to provide, whether it's job opportunities or labor market information to them so that they can help shape what they're doing to meet the future needs of employers. We have a close and ongoing working relationship with the college to the point where the president of the community college, Kathy Schatzberg, is on the board of directors of the Workforce Investment Board. We think that's very important. And as well, in addition to the president of the community college, the superintendents of each of our technical schools, vocational technical schools, are on our board of directors. So we work very closely with education. One of the things we haven't talked about today, Sarah, is we also have a very active youth council. So we're involved in education on the Cape all the way from kindergarten through the community college experience.
Now, David, why is it important for the Workforce Investment Board to be dealing with the young people, to kind of get them in that career mode early? Talk to me a little bit about the Youth Council and its function.
It is absolutely critical. As a matter of fact, we don't even call them youth anymore. We call them the emerging workforce. That's how we look at the students. And I always try to be very clear that we are not trying to steer anyone away from pursuing educational goals. As a matter of fact, we call a high school dropout that the $1 million decision. I mean, the information is very clear. Individuals who at least finish high school, over their lifetime earnings, will make $1 million more than someone who drops out of high school. So what we do try to do, though, is we try to provide the skills, more general skills that everybody needs when they're looking for work and when they're at the workplace. Because this is based on what employers tell us. Employers tell us all the time that what happens when they hire young people is that the young people don't know how to act when they get to the workplace. And this holds true whether they're talking about hiring high school dropouts, high school completers, or even college graduates. That when someone comes to the workplace, they don't understand that if they're not going to be there, they need to call their supervisor. They don't understand that they have to dress a certain way to be there. They don't know how to answer telephone. So we developed a curriculum several years ago called YES, and the acronym stands for Youth Employability Skills. And so we try to provide all those soft skills that employers say they need. Right now, our youth council is working on, we designed that for 16 to 24-year-olds, pretty much. We're looking at redesigning it so we can push it down to the middle school level, so even younger students will start to have some idea of what what they're required of, what is required of them in the workplace. So we're very much involved with the youth on Cape Cod. We also now we operate a small summer youth program called Youth Work. We were delighted when there was Recovery Act funds. We provided summer work for over 250 young people. So we try very hard to make sure that the youth in our area have every opportunity to be exposed to career exploration. Right now we're working with the community college on, and gosh, I don't know the date, but we're holding kind of not a job fair, but a career exploration day at the college for high schoolers and college students. So we're very involved with the youth in the community.
Great, and really, David, what a valuable resource that job skills program is. Because I think I don't want to say number one complaint, but definitely, I think a lot of employers are a little trepidatious about hiring young people because of the fact that, as you said, a lot of them may not have the skills to know how to properly answer the phone, or not sure exactly of the protocol of what they should do when they need to take a sick day, or how they should come and dress at work, and how they should behave with their coworkers. So to be able to train those kids and have them go into a potential employer and say, I've completed this, makes them even more hireable.
It's absolutely true, sir. It is time to get over any blaming or trying to figure out why or anything. I mean, people would keep saying, well, we just knew it. We learned it at home or something, and, it's irrelevant now. The fact of the matter is that this is the feedback that we get from employers. This is not just on the case. It's a national issue. Employers across the country say exactly the same thing, that when young people get to the workplace, they don't know how to act in the workplace. But the other side of it is, though, is that young people get to the workplace and they have a lot of skill. I mean, they have outstanding computer skills, social networking skills, a lot of skills that previous generations of employees never possessed. So it's kind of you have both sides of the coin. You have young people who may not have some of the workplace soft skills, but they have a lot of technical skills. So we're just trying to make sure that that employers have valuable employees and well-rounded employees available to them.
Absolutely. Well, David, we so much look forward to exploring all of the various avenues that the Workforce Investment Board has to offer. Look forward to talking about unemployment numbers, job numbers, careers here in Barnstable and really throughout the region. So I'm very glad to welcome you to our roster, and thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll talk with you again next Wednesday.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
David Augustino, of course, is the executive director of the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board. Of course, they do have that one-stop career center right here in Hyannis. It is on North Street, just before the West End Rotary, a beautiful new facility. You can go over there if you need help with resumes, if you're looking for a job, if you're a business looking for qualified employees. Again, and that's really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to talking about all that the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board does here in our region. So we look forward to being joined by David Augustino every Wednesday here on Business Wednesday, and you can look forward to some more new guests on Barnstable This Morning in the coming weeks. Still more to come on today's show. We have our weekly chat with Elizabeth Werfbane. She's the executive director of the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District, coming up next. But before that, let us find out what's going on around town. For that, I welcome Melissa Chartrand. She's got our news and notes. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Sarah. It will be slow moving on the Bourne Bridge for the next 2 days. Steel repair work will reduce travel to one lane in each direction. Motorists should expect delays, especially during peak travel hours. Traffic controls will be in place 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. both today and tomorrow. Cape Cod Community College is seeking nominations for its 2012 Pioneering Woman to be honored in March during Women's History Month celebrations. The award honors a woman who has made outstanding contributions to family, community, and society with a dedication to making a difference. Full details are on the website at the college's website at capecod.edu. With spring around the corner, residents planning construction, landscaping, or placing a shed within 100 feet of a lake, pond, bog, or marsh, or within 200 feet of a river or stream need to check in with the Conservation Division staff, who will help determine if the proposed activity requires review under the Wetland Protection Act and Town Wetland Bylaw. Call 508-862-4093 for assistance. Youth at Mall Night, sponsored by the Youth Services Division and the Barnstable Youth Commission, is this Friday in front of Macy's by the Hollister store at Cape Cod Mall. In addition to educational displays, the night will feature performances by the Atlantic Coast Academy of Dance and the Cape Cod Hip Hop Dancers. The program runs from 5 to 7 p.m. Moving on to sports, Boston Celtics forward Paul Pierce passed Larry Bird for second place on the Celtics all-time scoring list during the 94-84 win over the Charlotte Bobcats last night. Now at 5 straight wins, this is Boston's longest winning streak of the season. The Celtics will look for a 6th tomorrow night as they host the LA Lakers. The Bruins back on the ice tonight as they wrap up a mini road trip at Buffalo to face their Northeast Division rival tonight at 7. This is the third of 6 meetings between the teams. Twice earlier, the Bruins have beat the Sabres. In local sports action, Barnstable girls hockey has a game versus Duxbury tonight at 5 o'clock. Of course, that's over at the HYCC. And a race to tell you about, the Valentine's Twosome 3-mile race is on Sunday, February 19th at the Sandwich Hollows Golf Course. It's a $10 fee. It benefits the Cape Cod Athletic Club's American Cancer Society Relay for Life team. You can register by emailing Gucci, Goochie, at Comcast.net. Now it's time for us to hear from Highline Cruises Captain Peter Buckler aboard passenger ferry Gray Lady. Here's our daily boat report. Let's listen while we take a look at the current weather conditions right here at Hyannis Harbor.
Good morning. This is the Highline Daily Boat Report. This is Captain Buckler aboard the Gray Lady. Right now we have mostly clear skies, bright and blue up above with a few clouds around the horizon here. Winds are from the east at about 5 to 10 knots with calm seas, maybe seas of half a foot here this morning. Pretty nice morning out on Nantucket Sound. Our water temperature is holding steady at 41 degrees. The air temperature is not too far behind at about 39. The visibility is excellent this morning, and the next high tide in Hyannis Port is at 12:20 this afternoon. For the remainder of today, we can expect those clouds to move in a little bit and for it to maybe turn a bit colder this afternoon. For Barnstable this morning, this is Captain Buckler aboard the Gray Lady.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's now 8:39 on this lovely Wednesday morning. Sarah Colvin here with Melissa Chartrand.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Melissa. And I just have to give another thanks and round of applause to our previous guest, David Augustino. He, of course, is the Executive Director of the Cape and Islands Workforce Investment Board. Brand new guest here on Barnstable this morning. He'll be joining us each and every Wednesday morning. And we'll talk about, really delve into all of the information that he has. I know he's responsible. He collects the job numbers, the unemployment numbers here in Barnstable and on the Cape, as well as the state unemployment numbers. So we'll be able to talk and analyze about those and how things are going. Also about all of their great workforce programs that they have. And I love that program he was talking about training young people to have job skills. I think that is a fantastic program. I think, honestly, I think every high school should be required to take something like that. Because I think it's things that, that you and I take for granted. It's, that you know how to dress for work and how to call your supervisor if you're not going to be in that day. You can't just stay home and say, I'm taking a sick day. Right. Or dress appropriately for work, or even how to properly communicate with your coworkers.
Absolutely, and even to request time off and just the whole process and following those rules that are expected wherever you're going to work, and understanding the chain of command and how that works as well. And I think it's wonderful. And again, the earlier that you teach them, that they don't know those, as you say, we assume they know. It's similar to handling money. You assume they know what to do, and these kids, they graduate and they have no idea how to manage their money. So the earlier the better.
And certainly not taking away from their skills. I know that our young people are eager to work. They have lots of energy, and they definitely have a great skill set that they bring to work. But it's those little basic things that really can make or break. And I know that, Melissa, you had a business, in a previous life, and
yes.
you employed young people, and I'm sure you encountered some of those things
oh
in
my
your
goodness.
business as well.
I wish I would have been a millionaire if I had written a book or done that, reality TV series. My goodness, yes. But amazing the amount of programs they do have, and as he kept saying, all free to go and take advantage. And even if you already, it's not the unemployment office, and even though you already have a job, great to brush up on skills or
tweak that resume.
Tweak that resume. And
I know I've had to put together my resume a few times. When I got ready to go work up in Boston, it was really kind of a reality check. It's like, wow, this is a completely different phenomenon than when I had first submitted my resume to workplaces. So it's constantly changing. So look forward to joining David every week here on Barnstable This Morning.
And then you said as well, Sarah, I think our viewers will be pleased to know that some new guests are coming in the next few weeks and months.
Exactly. Stay tuned for changes. One other thing I wanted to talk about while we're sitting here in our lovely, funky, psychedelic chairs is the Barnstable Bulletin. And that's, of course, the monthly newsletter put out by the town of Barnstable. All sorts of good information in the bulletin.
It really is. We're always talking about whether you get your information from the show here. We have this newsletter that comes out. It can be mailed to you, but also via electronically. You can get it right on the town website as well. And all of the sort of departments submit information, good tips, good things that are coming up, deadlines. Yeah. A wealth of information right in this bulletin, and it just came out. It comes out the first of each month, available to you. Again, you can download it right from the town website.
Exactly, and news from all our departments, whether it's the senior center or the fire departments. There's a listing of all the public meetings that take place during the month, which I find very helpful. Things this month we talk about parking stickers, beach stickers, dump stickers, all sorts of things. The superintendent sends a message, as does our acting town manager.
Right.
So if people want to sign up, they can just head to the town's website, town.barnstable.ma.us, and sign right up to get that
Sign
newsletter.
right up. You can also sign up, if you don't receive it already, is the acting town manager's weekly e-newsletter, which also is another way to get some information about the happenings that have been taking place here at Town Hall for the week and matters that the town manager is working on.
Exactly, and if you missed an episode of Barnstable This Morning, you get a synopsis of what we talked about that week and links to watch previous shows.
That's right.
All sorts of good things. Well, we still have a show to do today. We have Elizabeth Werfbane of the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District joining us next. So let's go on now and take a look at Hyannis Inner Harbor, and we'll come right back with Elizabeth Werfbane. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable This Morning. It's now 8:45 on this Wednesday, February 8th, and joining me now on the phone, I welcome Elizabeth Werfbane. She's the Executive Director of the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District. Elizabeth, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Another beautiful day here in Hyannis.
Yes, a beautiful day. At least we're not in Rome.
Exactly.
You heard about that, right?
I have not heard about that, actually.
They had to close the Coliseum because it snowed.
Really?
Yeah, it's freezing over in Europe.
How
Freezing.
unusual.
Yeah.
Well,
so we're lucky. I think we're having a pretty good winter.
I think we are too, for sure. It's been absolutely gorgeous. So, Elizabeth, of course, we've talked a lot on the show about the wonderful offerings of food up and down Main Street. It always makes me hungry this time of day when we talk about that. But I know that that in the works is this this new event called the Long Table Event. So, talk to me a little bit about the Long Table Event.
Well, and you might have talked to Melissa about it as well. Because the Long Table event is what it is we want to coordinate what's really great about Main Street, which is, we have over about 40 restaurants up and down the street, eateries, so to speak, with just about every kind of foodway that you can imagine. Every kind of culture is represented, and every price point. And we have a lot of specialists on the street, really fabulous chefs that are kind of hidden away, that are creating, really beautiful delicacies. And that's what Main Street really has that's special, above and beyond interesting architecture and funky little shops. But, the foodways, you can't come up with any food that we don't have here. I'll bet you, I'm going to challenge you, Sarah. Can you think of something?
I'm thinking. I know we've got Thai, we have Indian, we have Brazilian, we have American, Chinese. I really can't think of anything except something really super esoteric that we don't have on Main Street. I mean, it's really something for everyone.
Well, we don't have Ethiopian.
Okay.
They actually don't use utensils. They eat with, chopped bread. However, we do have Indian, which is, you can have that type of food way, where you use, the little bread to eat with. But, yes, we have every kind of, type of eating, food that's common. And, we're excited about that. And it's an art form. And we also have a lot of art on Main Street. And I'm sure you've discussed how, this area, this district is going to be an arts and cultural district. Well, food is a major cultural, type of art form.
Absolutely.
And, so it fits perfectly that that we would celebrate what we have on this 1 mile street and call it the Long Table. I'm not sure if you know about polio. After the polio races in Siena, they closed down all of the area of Siena, and all the districts have different long table events where they showcase their specific food specialty. And that's always a pasta of sorts, with hundreds of people at a giant long table right in the town. And we are planning to do that in June, and we're looking for a location on the street. We have a few ideas where we would close down that area and have a gigantic long table with hundreds of people.
Oh, so what's funny is you say long table, and the first thing that popped in my head is actually setting up a long table on Main Street, and I was thinking that really isn't what you were going to do, but in fact it is what you're going to do.
It is what we're going to do, and of course ideally we'd have it in the middle of Main Street, close down the whole street, and have a big party in an ideal world. But in a world where you have litigation and lawyers and people who want to park and traffic and horns, you can't really do that, although we'd love to. So we want to accommodate, where it's and win-win. And so we would probably have it off of Main Street, off to the side, or in a kind of parking area or an alley, and which works fine as well. And we're looking for a place where we could possibly have to have a tent if it rains, which we hope it doesn't. But we're holding on to our long table, and a table that would fit 150 to 200 people, and showcase with courses the different types of foods that are offered on the street and specialties, and pair them with wines, and really keep it at a sophisticated fine dining type of event.
And really give people a chance to sample, Elizabeth, all that Main Street has to offer. And really it runs the gamut, not only in types of food, but price as well. I mean, you can get a hot dog for $2, or you can go, fine dining at Alberto's. It's really something for everybody. Exactly.
And we have participants like Common Ground, and they're going to come up with something really interesting. One of their ideas is to have food that looks like ladybugs. They would create a plate with a giant ladybug, but it would be made of delicacies, vegetarian delicacies. So I think people can have fun with it, and you pair that with a wine, and it's the beginning of the summer, and you're outside, and we'll have jazz music, and We want to really decorate the table in a fun and interesting way that's artsy, and have artwork around from local artists that showcase food. So it's kind of food is art, art is food, and then you have musicians, and you have the food itself being the table decor. So it's going to be beautiful. We hope that's what we want to put out there.
Right, and I almost would think, depending on how successful this is, you could almost turn it into like a Main Street food festival and have it not just on one day, but on several days, depending on, as you said, depending on how this year goes.
Right. We will see. Yeah, exactly. Where what it turns into. Does it turn into our signature event? Does it turn into something for the public? Because this is actually going to be invitation only.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yes. People will be banging on the door. That's the idea. Is that it's starting small, and it's Friends of Main Street, and we have to see where it goes. Does it go to tourists? Does it go to just the friends, the people that support Main Street? Is it something that we'd offer more than once a year? Exactly. We're kind of going to let it unfold.
Right, and it makes sense too. I'm thinking about, I grew up in the town of Chatham, not too far from here, and they had a yearly food festival called Taste of Chatham, and it was, they brought all the restaurants in town together, some wines underneath a tent, and that was also an exclusive invite-only event as well. Very, very successful in that town.
Yeah, okay, Chatham. Also Martha's Vineyard has one. Donnie, who works with us, brought in some pieces about Martha's Vineyard's big tent event, and they bring in thousands of dollars for their historical society, and it is, again, an invitation-only piece. It's set up a little differently. This will be a dinner party where you sit for the courses, and you're kind of more at a supper, whereas these tent events are more where you walk around with a tray.
Right.
Like the Oyster Festival has had that kind of aura as well. So it's a little different in temperament, but this could evolve into that. We're not sure. We kind of wanted to mirror something we saw that was a little bit different. That these sitting down, a community kind of piece. People having the conversation. More of a quiet kind of tempo.
Indeed. So really, truly, as you said, a fine dining type of experience. So we can look forward to that sometime in June. Do you have a date hammered down yet?
Not exactly, but it might be Thursday, June 28th. And that's kind of, everything depends on, the permitting, etc.
Indeed.
And I'll walk you through that process.
Red tape.
That'll be very interesting, yes. It'll be an exploratory kind of example. Maybe I'll be like the guinea pig, doing something a little different, and let's see how that comes along. I haven't really experienced all the parts of the regulatory process.
Well, Elizabeth, it sure will be interesting to see how that turns out, and I know we'll talk more about it in the coming weeks as the long table event gets shaped up.
Thank you. It's very exciting.
Great. Well, thank you, Elizabeth, so much for joining us today. Always a pleasure to speak with you, and we'll talk with you again next Wednesday morning.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Elizabeth Forfbane is the executive director of the Hyannis Main Street Business Improvement District. Interesting little event that she's cooking up there, the long table event. So we'll talk more about that in the future. Still a little bit more to come on today's Barnstable this morning. We have our community calendar and meeting calendar to share with you in just a moment. But let's get one more quick check of the weather forecast before we do that. And with the weather, I welcome back Melissa Chartrand. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Sarah. It's a sunny start today. We'll see increasing clouds as the day progresses, temps staying in the 40s. Sunset at 5:05. It will be cloudy overnight. There is a chance of snow or even rain after midnight. Temps in the 30s. A cloudy start to start the day tomorrow. Then it will clear out. Temps getting into the mid-40s. Right now it's 29 degrees. There's still more to come on Barnstable this morning. Coming up next is our meeting and community calendar. But first, let's take a final look and peek at that sunshine this morning out at Hyannis Harbor.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Barnstable this morning, 8:55 now on this Wednesday morning. Sarah Colvin here with Melissa Chartrand.
Good morning.
Good morning, and a number of meetings to look at today.
Sure, at 6 o'clock we have the amnesty hearing in the Town Hall hearing room.
And that's followed at 7 o'clock by the Zoning Board of Appeals, also in the second floor hearing room.
At 6:30 there is a meeting at Old Kings Highway on Route 149. That's on West Barnstable.
The 13th Annual Heart and Soul Celebration takes place at the Barnstable Senior Center on Saturday, February 11th. The event is always a sellout. Tickets are on sale now. You best get yours soon. The Groovalatos will provide the entertainment. Ticket price includes a scrumptious soul food buffet. Tickets are $15, available for purchase at the Senior Center.
The Barnstable Police Department is hosting a free internet safety class for parents at the end of this month. The interactive session encourages adults to be aware of the dangers of revealing too much information online, as well as the cyberbullying and online predators. Seating is limited to 40 attendees, so you need to contact Detective Kevin Connolly at the Barnstable Police Department to register. 508-778-3888. The program is scheduled for Wednesday, February 29th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Barnstable Police Department.
This Thursday, February 9th, is Grow Your Business Day at the Hyannis Post Office. The Every Door Direct Mail campaign is a new program to support local business through customer outreach. The free program begins at 11 a.m. and pre-registration is encouraged.
At the Hyannis Harbor Arts Center this month, Big Collage is exhibiting and runs programs all month long. You can get the full schedule at High Arts District. That's hyartsdistrict.com.
Wild Things, a safari of the imagination, on display through this Friday, February 10th at the Kituitt Center for the Arts. The exhibit is free and open to the public. It's an exhibit of 54 established and emerging Cape Cod artists who have created works featuring their favorite wild things.
Yes, definitely. It's in its waning days here, so you want to get there by Friday to check out the exhibit before they take that down.
Absolutely.
Ongoing at the Village Libraries, we were talking about the libraries earlier and all they have to offer. Well, in Centerville, the library's book group meets at 7 o'clock on the third Wednesday of each month. The Knitting Club meets each Friday at 3:30. At Kituitt, the book club meets every third Thursday at 7 to 8:30. And in Marston's Mills, you can join the family game night on the fourth Tuesday of each month, 6 to 8. And I know that's a lot. You can get all the information. They have activities all day, every day of the month at all of the libraries, and just log on to your local village library, and they also link to the other libraries in town.
Indeed. We would love to hear from you, so please send us your comments, questions, suggestions to us right here at the email address you see on your screen, btm@town.barnstable.ma.us. We love feedback from our viewers. Just before we say goodbye, we'd like to highlight what's coming up on our Thursday show. Every Thursday, we start things off with Town Council President Fred Chirigotis. After that, it's our weekly conversation with someone from the Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce. Of course, Jessica Silver is on maternity leave, taking care of her beautiful new baby, Benjamin. Mark Milne is the Director of Finance. He'll talk, he makes the finances of the town seem easy to understand. Beyond that is our weekly conversation with State Rep Demetrius Atzelis. We end each Thursday with our Senior Services Director, Madeline Noonan. We hope you start each and every weekday morning with us here at Barnstable This Morning. We're on live from 7:30 a.m. to 9 on Channel 18. You can also watch us online at town.barnstable.ma.us. Just click on Watch Channel 18 Live. I'm Sarah Colvin.
I'm Melissa Chartrand.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.